bar closed at 2. Chairs upon the tables, neon sign flickered, unstable. The bartender nodded like he knew the score. We stepped outside but didn't reach the door. Your coat on my shoulder, your hand near mine. The street smelled faintly of smoke and wine. You said we should go, I said in a minute. Neither of us really meant it. The bar closed, we didn't. We stayed in between, half in the night, half in a scene. The bar closed, we didn't. We lingered in air like unfinished sentences, hanging there. The city was softer after last call. Even the traffic moved slow and small. You laughed at nothing just to fill space. I watched the street light touch your face. Taxi lights passing, yellow and thin. Every reflection pulled us in. If we kept walking, it might be done. So we stood still under one. The bar closed, we didn't. We let time bend. Two quiet strangers, almost friends. The bar closed, we didn't. We stayed in that glow. Where leaving is easy, but nobody goes. Your voice dropped lower, almost a sigh. You asked what happens if we don't try. I looked at the pavement, not at you. Some answers change what's true. The wind moved closer around your hair. For a second I almost cared. Not in a loud way, not in a rush, just in the space between touch. The bar closed, we didn't. We stayed too long, letting the silence write our song. The bar closed, we didn't, but something did. A door inside we always hid. You stepped away first, no big goodbye, just a small nod under the sky. The bar closed. We didn't, but we should have. The piano forgot to sleep tonight. It keeps repeating your favorite line, soft as a question left undefined. The lamp is low, the room is small, dust in the air like it might fall. I press the keys, but they press back. Every note knows what I lack. You used to sit right over there, an elbow on the table, a careless stare. You'd close your eyes before the end, like every song was a friend. The piano forgot to sleep, it won't let silence in. It plays the spaces where you've been. window breeze, a winter tone. Streetlights flicker on their own. Your coffee cup still stains the wood. I never moved it, though I should. I try a chord we never used, something minor, soft and bruised. But every melody turns your way, like even wooden wire want you to stay. The piano forgot to sleep, it circles back again through quiet little phrases we never finish them. The piano forgot to sleep, it lingers on your name. In every low vibration, there's something still the same. If I stop playing, it starts alone, a ghost in ivory and undertone. Maybe it's not the piano, maybe it's me, keeping the rhythm of what used to be. I lower the lid halfway down, but there's still music in this town. Even the floorboards seem to keep secrets they promised not to repeat. The piano forgot to sleep, so neither will I. We'll let the night stretch thin before goodbye. The piano forgot to sleep, it won't release the sound until the morning light finally settles down. The last note fades but doesn't leave, it stays suspended in the keys. The piano forgot to sleep, and I forgot to grieve. The night is thinning slowly, blue along the frame. Your silhouette in shadow, still calling my name. The curtains barely moving from the air we let inside. The city breathing softer, like it's choosing sides. You trace a circle on the back of my hand, not asking questions, not making plans. There's a quiet kind of danger in staying like this, where nothing is promised but nothing is missed. If morning comes, don't answer, let it knock outside. We don't need the daylight to tell us how to decide. If morning comes, don't answer, let the sky stay unaware. What happens in this half-light doesn't belong out there. Your voice is lower now, almost a hum, words folding into where they're from. You say we should be careful, like it's already late, like the sun is something we can negotiate. The clock on the wall ticks without sound, or maybe we stop listening to it count. If we don't look east, maybe it won't rise. Maybe time gets lost when no one tries. If morning comes, don't answer, let it pass us by. We've built a fragile shelter underneath this sky. If morning comes, don't answer, don't reach for your phone. Let the world keep spinning while we stay unknown. The horizon will forgive us for pretending not to see that everything we're holding is temporary. But right now, your shoulder against mine feels like a truth outside of time. Don't say later, don't say soon, just stay inside this room. If morning comes, don't answer, let the light stay thin. We don't need conclusions to know where we've been. If morning comes, don't answer, let it fade away. We were never meant for the day. A pale line forms beyond the glass. You close your eyes like it might pass. I keep my voice almost a whisper. If morning comes, let it wait outside.
This isn't a love song, at least I don't think it is. There's no grand piano, no dramatic kiss. Just a half-charged phone on a cluttered desk, and your name lighting up like a small request. I let it ring twice before I decide that hesitation counts as a kind of pride. You say you're just calling because you were bored. I say I was busy, which we both ignore. This isn't a love song, probably not. There's no forever tied in a knot, just two low voices after midnight, trying to sound casual while holding on tight. This isn't a love song, don't read it that way. It's just what happens when neither can stay. You laugh at something I didn't mean. Your voice through the speaker feels almost clean. You ask if I'm sleeping, I say not yet. Like insomnia is easier than regret. The room smells faintly of smoke and rain. I open the window to air out your name. You mention someone you're kinda seeing. I say that's good without meaning. This isn't a love song, it's just background noise, a quiet arrangement of almost choices. No violin swelling, no falling apart, just dry little fractures across the heart. This isn't a love song, so don't get confused. It's just what we do when we're unused. If it were love, we'd say it straight, not hide it behind timing and fate. If it were love, we draw a line instead of pretending we're perfectly fine. You get quiet for a second too long. I almost say you're where I belong, but I clear my throat and change the tone, like feelings are things you can postpone. This isn't a love song, probably true. Love wouldn't hover the way that we do. It wouldn't survive on half-spoken lines and carefully measured designs. This isn't a love song, let's keep it small. No promises made, no risk at all. You say you should sleep, I say yeah, me too. We let the silence finish what we couldn't do. The call disconnects without a sound. The room feels larger, now you're not around. This isn't a love song, but if it was, it would sound exactly like this.
The moon is hanging careless above the rooftop blinds, silver on the pavement, like everything is fine. Your hand is close to mine, but not enough to hold. We walk without a rhythm, trying not to be bold. The street is almost empty, windows dark and still. Somewhere a curtain moves against its will. You said this isn't serious, just two insomniacs, but your shoulder brushed mine and didn't pull back. Nobody told the moon about us, so it shines like nothing's wrong, spilling light on quiet rooftops while we pretend we're strong. Nobody told the moon about us, so it doesn't have to choose. It watches from a distance with nothing left to lose. Your reflection in a shop window walks a step ahead, like a version of you already misread. You talk about tomorrow like it's somewhere safe, like morning won't remember the shape our shadows make. A train passes in the distance, low and thin. The sound fades slower than the air between our skin. If this was meant to last, we'd say it out loud. Instead, we let the silence blend into the crowd. Nobody told the moon about us, so it keeps the sky serene. No witness to the tension in the space between. Nobody told the moon about us, so it doesn't intervene. It leaves us in the half-light of what might have been. If the moon knew, would it dim its glow? Would it soften or expose? Would it pull the tide closer to shore? Would it ask for something more? Stop walking for just a second, like you're thinking of a different direction. I almost say your name, but let it fade. Some things feel safer unsaid. Nobody told the moon about us, so it hangs there cold and round, unaware of every almost we buried in this town. Nobody told the moon about us, so it stays untouched above, shining on the sidewalks that never learned our love. The night grows thinner, blue at the edge. Your hand finally moves, but not toward mine. We part beneath that silver light, like we rehearsed the lines. The moon keeps shining, bright and oblivious. Nobody told the moon about us. You left your jacket on the back of my chair, like you weren't planning to disappear. The room still holds the shape of you in quiet corners I look through. Your glass is half full, lipstick on the rim. I haven't moved since you walked in. You say this isn't serious. You say we're just passing through. But the way you hesitate feels closer than you do. I was almost yours, not quite, not fully. Just somewhere in between, where the air gets heavy. I was almost yours, close enough to feel what it would have been if we were real. Your name still lingers on my phone screen, typed but unsent in pale blue letters. I scroll back slowly through midnight talks, conversations that never learned to walk. You said timing's wrong, like timing's a wall, like we don't choose anything at all. You touched my hand like it was borrowed, like you'd return it by tomorrow. I was almost yours, but not the one you claim, not the one you introduce when someone asks your name. I was almost yours, but almost isn't true. It's just a softer word for something we couldn't do. We couldn't do. Tell me if you think of me when the lights go out, when the city quiets down and there's no one else around. Do you replay the way we stood, too close for strangers, too far for good? Say my name like you did that night, low and careful, out of sight. I was almost yours in the way you stayed, a little too long when you should've walked away. I was almost yours in the way you knew exactly how to look at me, like I belong to you. Like I belong to you. The sky begins to pale through the curtains then. Morning doesn't judge where we've been. I fold your jacket, place it by the door. Not dramatic, not angry, just aware that I was almost yours, and almost is never more. I don't sing for the crowd, there's no one here, just the hum of the radiator and a half-warm beer. The city's quieter now, even the sirens gave up. Your side of the bed, still slightly untouched. I keep my voice low, so the walls won't notice, so the dark won't close in, so the silence won't focus. If I stop for a second, morning might appear, and I'm not ready yet to have you disappear. I sing so the night won't end, so the sky stays ink and blue. If daylight finds this room, it might take me back to you. I sing just soft enough the shadows near. If I hold this note long enough, maybe you're still here. There's a glass on the table with your lipstick faint. I haven't moved it like it's holding something sacred. Your jacket on the chair still shaped like you. I trace the sleeves slowly like I used to do. Outside the street lamp flickers once then stays, like it understands why I delay. If the birds start singing, it's officially gone. I'll have to admit you're not coming home. So I sing so the night won't end. Keep the darkness kind. Let the stars stay unbroken. Let me stay inside. I don't need forever, I don't need truth. I just need a few more hours without losing you. My voice is barely there, more breath than sound. Like if I whisper carefully, you'll still be around. I don't sing to remember, I sing to pretend that time is something I can bend. Stay just a little longer. Stay inside this song I sing so the night won't end. Let the sky stay closed. If morning never finds us, then nothing really goes. I sing until my throat feels thin and clear. If I keep the dark awake, maybe you're still here. The horizon starts fading, gray slips through the blinds. My last note trembles, then unwinds. I sing so the night wouldn't end, but morning never minds.
The elevator stopped between floors. No warning, no dramatic pause. Just a quiet shudder in the cables, like the building changed its mind. Fluorescent light above us, soft but unforgiving. Your reflection in the steel doors looked almost distant. You pressed the button twice, like that might fix it. I watched your fingers hesitate before they dropped. We said it's fine, it'll move again, but neither of us believed it then. The elevator stopped between us, somewhere between your floor and mine. Not going up, not falling down, just suspended in that line. We stood too close to be strangers, too careful to collide, in a box of quiet tension, with nowhere left to hide. Your perfume lingered lightly, mixed with metal air. I could hear you breathing shift like you were measuring the distance. You asked me what time it was, though you wore a watch. I told you anyway, like that meant something. The emergency light flickered once, then settled into red. Your shadow touched my shoulder, but your hand stayed by your side. You laughed too softly, said this is awkward. I almost answered, this is honest. The elevator stopped between us, and the silence filled the space. No escape to separate us. stillness of that moment, there were things we didn't speak. If it had kept moving, maybe we'd stay polite. Step out on different levels, disappear into light. But the cables held us captive in suspended air, close enough to feel the truth, but not enough to dare. You leaned back slowly against the mirrored wall. I saw myself beside you, almost wanting it all. Your eyes met mine, then drifted down like eye contact was too loud. The elevator stopped between us in the middle of the night, between the safe decisions and the things we didn't fight. Not lovers, not innocent, not ready to confess, just too almost in a metal press. The elevator started moving without a sound, like nothing had happened, like we hadn't been found. You stepped out first, didn't look behind. The doors closed gently on what stayed in my mind. Now every time I ride alone, I feel that phantom pause, that moment when the air grew thick without a cause. Somewhere between your floor and mine, there's still a space I find, where the elevator stopped between us and never quite aligned. The lamp is barely on, just enough to trace your outline. Gold across your collarbone, shadow down your spine. You don't say much, you never do at this hour. Your silence feels closer than your hands. The windows open slightly, city breathing low. Somewhere in the distance a car moves slow. You look at me like you're measuring the truth, not what I say, but what I don't. In this low light honesty, there's nowhere left to hide. No loud confessions, no alibis, just your breath near mine, unfiltered, unpolished in this low light honesty. You sit beside me but angled just a little, like closeness needs distance to stay gentle. Your fingers brush my wrist, not by accident, just enough contact to shift the air. I feel your pulse steady but aware, like your body knows what your mouth won't share. You lean in slowly, not dramatic, just deliberate and automatic. In this low light honesty, we don't pretend to be brave, no promises spoken, nothing to save, just the quiet heat between restraint and release. In this low light honesty, tell me what changes when the lights are bright. Would you still look at me the same way in daylight? You smile faintly like you thought about it, but never stayed long enough to answer. Don't say forever, don't say stay, just stay here anyway. turns and steadies again. You rest your head light against my shoulder. Outside, the city continues. Inside, nothing dramatic, just warmth, just proximity, just low light honesty, holding for now. You say it didn't hurt like you rehearsed it, like pain is something you can fold away. You keep your tone, even keep your hands steady, but your eyes drift when I say your name. The window slightly open, traffic far below, cold air on your shoulder, but you don't let it show. We don't fight anymore, we don't raise our voice, we just lower it until there's no choice. It's a soft image, nothing loud or wild, just a quiet fracture underneath your smile. It's a soft image no one else can see, just the space growing wider between you and me. We sit across the table, phones face down, like we're trying to prove we're still around. You ask about my day, I answer in short lines. We trade safe words like borrowed time. The clock ticks softer than it used to, or maybe we've just stopped listening. You say we're fine, and I agree, but fine has never meant what it used to mean. It's a soft damage, slow and precise, not a single moment, just accumulated nights. It's a soft damage, barely leaves a trace, just a fading warmth where we used to stay. You don't slam doors, you don't disappear, you just turn quieter year by year. I don't accuse you, I don't complain, I just memorize the shift in your breathing. Soft, say it gently, say it low. Are we holding on or letting go? It's a soft damage, built in silence, not betrayal, just slow defiance. It's a soft damage we never planned, just two tired hearts loosening their hands. You reach for me out of habit, not desire. I let you out of comfort, not fire. The city keeps moving below our window. Nothing dramatic, nothing cruel, just soft damage becoming true.
The room is washed in navy, curtains barely moving. Your silhouette and shadow feels closer than your skin. There's a quiet in your breathing, like waves before they break. I can hear the space between us, and every breath you take. You don't look away, but you don't look at me. Somewhere in between is where we always seem to be. We're breathing in blue, letting the night sink through. Every word we don't say turns a deeper shade. We're breathing in blue, slow and untrue, holding on to street light through the window, draw silver on your shoulder. Your fingers trace a pattern like you're writing something over. You say you're not fragile, but your voice says otherwise. There's a tremor in the quiet, hiding in your sighs. You step a little closer, but stop before we touch. Like contact might confirm that this already means too much. We're breathing in blue, drowning without a bruise, floating in the tension of something we can't choose. We're breathing in blue, neither win nor lose, just two shadows, afraid to move. Tell me why the silence feels louder than a scream. Tell me why your heartbeat sounds like leaving in a dream. You say this isn't love, just a moment passing through. But moments don't linger the way I linger on you. Lower your voice, say it like a secret. Say you feel it too, even if you don't mean it. We're breathing in blue, midnight in full view. Every glance is a question, neither of us answers true. We're breathing in blue, slow and overdue. If we let the light in, what would we lose? The sky begins to soften, black turning into gray. You finally close your eyes like you've run out of ways. I stay there watching the rhythm of your chest, breathing in blue, trying not to confess.
The sky is still undecided. Not night, not morning. Just that quiet blue before everything chooses. Your apartment light is the only one still awake on this side of the river. I'm sitting on the floor, back against the couch, shoes still on. We said we wouldn't stay up this late again. But here we are, talking in low volume like the walls need sleep. The heater hums, soft and steady. Your hair falls forward when you lean. There's a cup of unfinished tea cooling beside you. Before sunrise calls, before the city breeze, we're suspended in this in-between. You say you like this hour because no one is demanding. No messages, no expectations, no noise pretending to matter. I nod, watching the faint outline of buildings through the balcony glass. Somewhere far a train moves, metal against metal like a distant memory. You ask if I ever think about leaving. Not you, just everything. I say, sometimes, but mostly I think about staying. Before sunrise calls, before the light gets on us, we can still believe anything. You stretch your legs, let your head fall back. eyes closed. I memorize the quiet shape of your face. The room smells like rain from earlier. Window slightly open, letting in cool air. You whisper that mornings scare you because they make choices real. I tell you that's why I like them. They force us to move. You laugh softly, call me unrealistic maybe, but I've always trusted light. The horizon begins to thin, dark blue turning softer, like it's exhaling. Before sunrise calls, we're still hidden in the last layer of shadow. Your fingers trace patterns on the wooden floor. You say, what if we don't rush today? What if we ignore the clock? Let it ring, let it complain. I smile because we both know you won't. You always answer, even when you don't want to. The sky shifts again, a faint silver line appearing between towers. You sit up slowly, watching it. There's something honest about this moment. No filters, no neon, just pale light touching concrete. Before sunrise calls, before responsibility speaks, we're softer than usual. You ask if I'll still be here when you wake up later. I tell you I never left. You look at me like that answer means more than it should. The city begins its first quiet movements. A delivery truck rolling down the street, a window across flicking on the world, clearing its throat. You lean your head against my shoulder. Your breathing matches the heater's hum, steady, even. I think about how fragile this hour is, how quickly it disappears. Before sunrise calls, before the sky turns gold, we are untouched. You close your eyes just for a second, or maybe longer. I stay still, afraid to disturb the balance. Light slowly spreads across the floor, catching dust in midair. It looks like tiny stars fading. You wake when your alarm finally vibrates. Not loud, just persistent. You don't reach for it right away. Instead, you look outside and back at me. Morning's here, you say, not like a complaint, just a fact. Before sunrise calls, we belong to ourselves. After we belong to everything else. You stand, walk to the window, push it open a little wider. Fresh air rushes in, cool and clean. The first real sunlight touches your face. You don't look afraid, just thoughtful. Maybe mornings aren't that cruel. You whisper, I stand behind you, close enough to feel warmth. They just ask for honesty. You turn, smile lightly. The city is fully awake now. Cars moving, doors closing, voices rising. But inside it's still quiet. Before sunrise calls, we were weightless. Now we choose. You finally turn off the alarm. Place your phone down. No rush, just a breath and a step toward the day. The light stays, so do I. There's a blinking light on your old phone screen. Battery low, but you don't plug it in. You let it fade like conversations we never finished. Outside, traffic hums in waves, soft and distant, like it's underwater. I'm sitting across from you at a table too small for the silence we brought. You stir cold coffee long after the sugar dissolves. Slow signals between us, half-sent sentences, half-read signs. We've been speaking in careful tones as if the air could break. You say you're fine with a softer voice than like I believe you. Neon reflections stretch across the window, turning our faces into strangers. The cafe speaker plays something low, a beat that loops without asking. You check your phone, no new messages, just the blinking icon. Waiting, slow signals from satellites above, crossing oceans, finding everyone but us. You tell me you've been sleeping less, like that's casual, like that's normal. I notice the way your fingers rest near mine, but never touch. Outside a bus passes, windows lit with other stories. I wonder if they're easier. You finally look up, eyes tired but steady. We used to talk about nothing for hours. Now we measure words like they cost something. Slow signals and quiet, every pause means more. You say, maybe we just need time. Time has been sitting with us all night unpaid. Your laugh comes late, like a delayed train arriving off schedule. I smile back, half a second behind. The door opens, cold air drifts, and someone leaves without looking back. You follow it with your eyes. Tell me, you say, what are we doing? The question hangs between the hanging lights. A tree circles on the wooden table, trying to read what isn't written. We're still here, I answer. You exhale, like that's not enough. Slow signals crossing in the dark, two frequencies almost aligned. Your phone finally dies, screen turning black. You flip it over face down. Now there's nothing blinking, just us. I noticed the tiny scar on your wrist from years ago. I never asked about it. You say, maybe we talk too much about the future, like it's a place we have tickets to. I say, maybe we talk too little about now. The cafe lights dim slightly, closing soon. Chairs scrape against the floor, we stay seated. Slow signals in your breathing, in the way you lean closer. Your knee brushes mine. This time you don't move away, neither do I. Outside, rain begins soft at first, then steady. People run under shared umbrellas. You watch them like they know something. We used to be simple, you whisper. I shake my head, no, we were just louder. The rain grows heavier, tapping against glass like a patient reminder. You finally reach across the table, your fingers rest on my hand. Not dramatic, not desperate, just real. Slow signals turning clear, static fading bit by bit. You look at me without flinching, don't disappear. You say, I wasn't planning to. The words feel heavier than they sound. The staff begin stacking cups. We stand together outside. The rain cools the pavement, street lights blur into gold lines. You step closer under the awning. No rush now, no blinking icons. Just breathe and shared air. Slow signals finding rhythm. Not perfect, not loud, but steady. We walk without deciding where. The city doesn't ask, it just goes. And for tonight, that's enough. The signal holds. Midnight blinking on a broken street sign. The corner store lights buzz in tired blue. You say it's getting late, like time asked you to. Like the night is closing just for us. The last bus home, breeze at the curb, doors open. Like a quiet warning, we don't move yet. Your reflection in the window floats beside mine, two shadows waiting for a decision. The driver doesn't look at us, he's seen this scene before. Lovers who pretend there's one more minute. Street lights flicker on rain-washed pavement, neon trembling under your shoes. You ask what I'm thinking, I say nothing much, but that's not true. I'm thinking how cities don't stop, even when we do. The last bus home, engine low and slow, counting down without a sound. You shift your back from one shoulder to the other, like you're rearranging the weight of goodbye. We've been careful lately with the way we speak, leaving soft gaps where truth could fall. You say tomorrow like it's guaranteed, like distance is only measured in maps. But I've learned maps don't show what fades. The doors begin to close, then pause, waiting for someone braver. You step forward first, I stay half a second behind. That half second feels enormous. The bus smells like rain and worn out seats. We sit apart by one empty space. The city moves sideways outside the glass building, sliding like slow memories. You lean your head back, eyes on the ceiling, tracing invisible lines between us. The last bus home rattles through intersections, red lights turning green. Nobody talks, a man in the back sleeps through his stop. A girl with headphones stares at nothing. We are just two more stories in transit. You finally reach across the empty seat. Your fingers brush mine soft, like you're asking permission. I don't pull away, the bus turns east, past the river where reflections break into fragments. You whisper, it doesn't have to end, like you're convincing yourself. I watch the city grow thinner, buildings giving way to quiet blocks. The last bus home counts the stops. One by one, your stop comes first. Of course it does. You press the button, a small red light glows above us. Stop requested. I wish there was one for us. The bus slows with a sigh. Doors open, cool air rushing in. You stand but hesitate. Say something, you tell me. So I say, get home safe. You smile, like that's enough. You step down onto wet pavement. The doors close, your outline shrinks in the rearview glass. The last bus home keeps moving like nothing changed. I stay seated, watching the place where you were. Street after street passes by, my stop arrives. I press the button too late. The bus keeps going, another block, another chance to sit with it. The last bus home carries what we didn't say. Through sleeping neighborhoods, when I finally step off, the night feels wider, quieter. I check my phone, no message yet, just the city breathing, and the echo of your hand across an empty seat. Still warm, still there for a moment before it cools. "3 a.m. and the coffee tastes different here. Not bitter, not sweet, just unfamiliar. Steam rising like a quiet translation between your language and mine. The window is half open, somewhere below, a taxi sighs at the red light. Neon flickers in a language I'm still learning. You said, every city has its own silence. You just have to stay long enough to hear it breathe. I didn't understand then, now I do. The cup warms my hands, but the night stays cool. Foreign street signs glow in soft blues and greens, like they're whispering directions I never asked for. I remember you laughing at how I held the menu too close, trying to pronounce everything carefully, as if careful could erase distance. We sat like travelers, but spoke like we'd known each other. In another time zone outside, rain started slow, like someone testing a memory before letting it fall. You told me back home the trains never sleep. They run under the river, carrying people who don't look up. Here, even the trains sound softer, as if they respect the dark. I take another sip, and it's colder now. Funny how fast warmth leaves when you're alone. Across the street, a bakery light is still on. The woman inside wipes the same counter twice, like she's waiting for someone who promised to return. Maybe that's what we were, two people between departures. You said, if we ever meet again, let it be somewhere neither of us belong, so it feels fair. The clock above the counter ticks like it's unsure whether to move forward or stay. My phone lights up, but it's not you. It hasn't been you for months. Still, every vibration feels like a possibility. I rehearse in my head what I'd say if your name appeared again. Probably nothing dramatic, just did you sleep? Because that was always our question. Across oceans, across signal delays, did you sleep? I didn't, not really. The rain grows steadier, soft percussion on pavement, almost in rhythm with the brush drums in my headphones. The city isn't mine, but tonight it feels less foreign. Because somewhere under another sky you might be holding another cup at another 3 a.m. Thinking about the same unfinished sentence, about how the coffee tasted strange but honest, about how for a moment we belonged to the same hour. Even if we couldn't stay, the barista turns the sign to close but lets me sit. Maybe she understands that some nights a cup of coffee isn't about caffeine. It's about not letting the memory go cold. I finish the last sip and leave a little at the bottom for you, just in case this city ever brings you back to this table at 3 a.m. Rain on platform 9, running down the yellow line, like it's trying to leave before we do. Your suitcase stands upright, braver than we are tonight. Zippers closed on things we never said. The speaker cracks above us, names of cities blur. Departure times dissolve inside the static air. You look at the timetable like it might change its mind, like maybe this train could forget to arrive. Rain on platform 9, falling in steady time. Soft percussion on the steel and stone. I keep my hands in my coat. You keep yours wrapped around a paper cup. Gone cold. We've been here before. Different stations, different weather. Same quiet in between. You said long distance is just geography. Trying to be important. I laughed, but I memorized the way. Your voice softened when you said stay. A train passes without stopping. Wind pushes rain sideways for a second. We disappear behind motion. When it clears, you're still there. Still looking at me like I'm already memory. Rain on platform 9, falling in straight lines. Like the city's writing something down. Maybe it's recording how we stand too close, but not close enough. Your ticket glows on your phone one way. You turn the screen away, like it might hurt me. I pretend not to see. The clock moves forward without apology. Seconds dropping heavy as coins. I want to save something big, something cinematic, but this isn't a movie. It's fluorescent lights, wet concrete, and the smell of metal. So I say, text me when you get there. And you nod like that's enough. Rain on platform 9, your shoulder next to mine, almost touching through the denim. The loudspeaker calls it train, clear this time. No static to hide behind. Doors slide open with the sound too final. You step forward, then turn. That half second stretches longer than the tracks. I don't wave, you don't either. We've always been quiet, but the important things. The train breathes in and carries you away. Windows blur with rain, your outline fades into movement. I stay. Water collects near my shoes, reflection breaking every time someone walks past. Rain on platform 9, still falling in time, like nothing significant happened. Another train arrives, another goodbye rehearses itself. Under the same leaking roof, people scroll, people rush, people don't look up. I finally move past the vending machine, past the map of lines we never traced together. Outside, the rain feels lighter without the roof. The city hums. Unaware, I check my phone, no message yet, of course not. You're still somewhere between stations, between signals, between what we were and whatever comes next. Rain on platform 9 washes the moment clean, but leaves the outline of you standing there, not leaving, not staying, just long enough to echo in every station after. When the night stays longer than it should and the clock forgets to move, I sit beside the window, tracing outlines of you. The street lamp flickers softly like it's trying to breathe, holding on to shadows that don't want to leave. Your laughter in the hallway still lingers in the walls, a quiet kind of echo that gently rises close the chapter, but the pages turn themselves every time the silence sits back on the shelf. I tell myself it's over, like that makes it true. But the night has other ideas about me and you. When the night stays and refuses morning light, I feel you in the stillness, wrapped inside the quiet. No headlights passing, no early birds awake, just two fading heartbeats the dark won't let me break. When the night stays, there's nowhere else to be, just memory breathing slowly beside me. A glass of water sweating on the bedside table, conversations we abandoned still perfectly stable. You said we need a space, like space was something kind, but distance is a mirror that shows what's left behind. The ceiling fan keeps turning in a lazy rhythm, like it understands what I can't forgive in me. Maybe we were careful, maybe we were scared to say the simple truth that neither of us dared. Outside the sky is heavy with unfalling rain. Inside I hold the shape of your name. When the night stays and the city holds its breath, I replay every sentence we never said. Your hand inside my jacket, your head against my chest. The safest kind of silence was when we didn't guess. When the night stays, I almost feel okay, because in the dark, you haven't gone away. Maybe dawn is overrated, maybe light is loud. Maybe we were softer without a crowd in this suspended hour where time forgets to run. I can't pretend you're not undone. The dark is not an enemy, it's just a place where I still remember your face. If the sun never rises, I won't complain. Some endings feel sharper in the rain. When the night stays and the sky won't turn blue, I don't have to practice living without you. No final explanations, no brave goodbye, just the steady comfort of a sleepless sky. When the night stays, I let it surround, because in this quiet, you're still around. Somewhere morning waits, but not for me. Tonight the dark is enough to be. My window faces east, so the light finds me first. Before the traffic starts, before the city rehearses, the sky is still undecided between violet and gray, and I'm somewhere in between. the night and the day. Your sweater on the chair, like you just stepped outside. 2 cups in the kitchen, one still drying by the side. I never moved your picture from the corner of the desk, like shifting it might finally let my chest rest. I told myself I'm better when I sleep alone, but the quiet in the morning feels louder than I've known. The sun begins to outline every empty space, and I see us clearly in the light it cannot erase. Window facing east, let the morning in. Show me what is real, show me where I've been. Every pale reflection on the glass I see is a softer version of what's left of me. Window facing east, don't be kind today. Let the truth arrive in its quiet way. There's a train far away, moving through the dawn, a sound that keeps on going long after it's gone. I wonder if you hear it from wherever you sleep, if distance feels lighter or just as deep. The kettle starts to tremble, but I let it wait. I'm not ready yet to rearrange the day. Your name still fits inside my mouth, but I don't say it out loud. I thought time would soften the edges of your touch, but some things don't fade, they just don't hurt as much. The sky's turning silver, buildings start to glow, and every rising shadow is something I must let go. Window facing east, let the morning speak. Tell me if the heart is stronger when it's weak. Every line of sunlight falling on the floor feels like an answer I can't ignore. Window facing east, shine on what remains. Not just the goodbye, but all the quiet gains. Maybe we were evening beautiful but brief, 2 silhouettes dissolving into disbelief. Maybe love was never meant to survive the sun, only live in hours when the world is undone. I breathe in slowly as the room turns gold. There's a kind of healing in what daylight holds. No dramatic ending, no final scene, just a gentle shift in what love means. Window facing east, the light is fully here. It doesn't ask permission, it doesn't disappear. And maybe that's the lesson I'm meant to learn. Some things don't return, but they still burn. Window facing east, morning on my skin. I don't close the curtain, I let the day begin. The sky is now blue, where violet used to be, and I'm still standing, but differently. The kettle stopped singing an hour ago, but neither of us moved. The city outside keeps shifting its weight between red lights and empty streets. Your coffee's gone cold on the table, mine too. I guess we said we should sleep, but we never do. The clock above the kitchen door breathes in slow circles. 3:17, 3:18, like it's counting something sacred. You sit cross-legged on the floor, scrolling through nothing. The screen light painting silver across your cheek. We don't talk much, we don't need to. Silence fits us like a worn-out sweater. We're still awake together while the whole world disappears. No music playing loud, just the sound of us breathing here. No promises for morning, no plans we have to keep. Just your shoulder close to mine, still awake together. Outside, a taxi passes slowly. Tires whisper on wet asphalt. Somewhere above, a neighbor walks back and forth across the ceiling. Life continues in fragments in rooms we'll never see, but in this small apartment it's only you and me. You lean your head against the couch, I let my hand rest near yours. Not quite touching, but close enough to feel the warmth between almost and always. We don't chase tomorrow, we let it wait. The night is wide and we are unafraid. We're still awake together while the whole world falls asleep. Street lights flicker softly through the curtains, thin and weak. No need to say forever, no need to make it deep. Just your quiet heart with mine, still awake together. If morning comes too quickly, we'll pretend we didn't see the way the sky turns pale behind the balcony. We'll trace the fading shadows across the wooden floor. Hold on to this fragile hour like we've done before. No fireworks, no sudden sparks, just steady breathing in the dark. Your fingers brush my sleeve like a question I answer by staying. We're still awake together as the first train hums below, a distant rolling echo of places we won't go. The night is almost over, but we're in no rush to leave. Just this quiet kind of love that doesn't need to speak. Still awake together in the fragile early light. Two shadows in one window, holding on tonight. When the sun begins to rise and the silence starts to fade, we'll carry this unspoken thing into the day. The kettle will sing again, the city will move, but for now it's just us, still awake together, still awake with you. I started and loved you before I knew where I was going. The signs above me aren't in my language, but the street lights feel familiar. Quiet foreign streets always sound the same. A distant train, a late bicycle, someone laughing 2 blocks away. My footsteps echo softer here, like the pavement doesn't expect me. I pass a bakery closed early, the smell of sugar still hanging in the air. Quiet foreign streets don't ask questions, they just let you pass. I keep my hands in my pockets, headphones on, nothing playing, just comfort. A vending machine hums in the corner, blue light on empty sidewalk. For a second I see us here, walking side by side, not saying much. Quiet foreign streets make space for silence. I cross at the wrong signal, no cars coming, no one correcting me. In another city, we would've hurried, caught the last bus, watched the time. Here there is no rush, just breathing, and neon reflected in puddles. Quiet foreign streets hold their distance, but gently. A window above flickers on, someone making tea, someone staying awake. I wonder if they ever feel like I do now, between belonging and leaving. I stop by the river, lean against cold railing, watch light stretch across black water. Quiet foreign streets are kinder at night. No expectations, no history, just this moment unattached. I think about your voice, how it sounded when you said it's not forever. The words weren't heavy, just honest. A tram rolls by slowly, nearly empty, its windows glowing like moving rooms. I imagine sitting there watching this version of me fade behind glass, but I stay. The wind moves lightly through narrow buildings, carrying pieces of conversations I can't understand. Still, I like the rhythm. Quiet foreign streets teach you how to be small without feeling lost. I find a convenience store open 24 hours by water. Not at the cashier, no small talk, just transaction, just presence. Outside again, the night feels deeper but softer. Quiet foreign streets don't try to impress you. They don't shine brighter, they don't shout, they glow like something comfortable with itself. I sit on a low wall and let the minutes pass. No scrolling, no photos, just memory. If you were here, we'd probably talk about leaving, like we always did. But tonight, I'm not leaving. Quiet foreign streets have a way of slowing decisions. The air cools slightly and I breathe in the unfamiliar until it feels familiar. Not home, but not far, somewhere in between. A scooter drives past, engine fading gently into distance. I close my eyes for just a second, and when I open them, the street is still here, waiting. Without asking, quiet foreign streets never hold you back. They just let you stay as long as you need. And when you're ready, they'll still be quiet, still steady, still glowing, like nothing ever changed.